great memories. John Harty on Deletta, Tarquestral and Ted coming down 2 out, and he'd have certainly been involved in the finish on that one. The great Brown Lad, we didn't see his third success, but great days from yesteryear. More shots of people enjoying the festivities here on Grand National Day, young and old, just how it should be. Brian Gleeson met racing personalities and members of the press at the Old Jameson Distillery last Tuesday when they gathered for the unveiling of the Powers Go label Grand National weights. Foxchapel Kings trainer Mice Morris rode Billy Can to victory in 1977, while Arthur Moore, responsible for Feathered Leader, More Than a Stroll and Lyrene Wonder, has been in the winner's enclosure both as a trainer and previously as a jockey. Willie Mullins is two-handed this year with Peggy's Lad and Knights of Kerry in his quest for a first success. And Barry Geraghty, in conversation with Tommy Carberry and Damien McElroy, Barry rides Furbert Jr. for trainer Jessica Harrington.
I'm happy with it. You know, it's a nice weight. I'm delighted Comanche Court's in the top of it with 12 stone. You know, to have 11 stone in a race like that, it's a great racing weight.
I think it's a fair racing weight, but for him, you know, 10 stone in the bottom weight, I can't complain too much.
Comanche Court, 12 stone, first and second last year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'll be hoping that Comanche Court will run, so as long as he runs, I'll be happy.
You've given them an ideal national preparation.
Yeah, he had a nice run in Gorn Park the last, which has turned out to be a very good race. A little bit afraid they might have gone up in the weights for that run, but he's left him where he was.
Arthur Moore, 3 horses in the Powers Irish Grand National. Feathered Leader, second in the race 2 years ago. Looks to have a nice weight, 10 stone 1.
Yes, he's on a nice weight, Brian. I'd like the ground to be really good. At the moment it looks like it's going to be a bit on the soft side, but we're hoping for the best with him.
Is he in good form?
He's in good form, yes. I'm not sure if he's quite as well as he was earlier in the season, but it's hard to tell. He might have been sometimes go a bit stale towards the end of the season, so we're keeping our fingers crossed.
And his stable companions, Lyrene Wonder and More Than a Stroll.
Yes, Lyrene Wonder won the Troy Town for us. Preferred to be going left-handed, but he has to take his chance, and if he has to stay around, he won't be too far away.
And More Than a Stroll?
Yes, well, he's a 2.5 mile horse, but he's just 2 pounds out of the weights, so worth taking a gamble. It's a good prize, and it's prize money back to the 6th, so he'll take his chance with it.
Peggy's Lad and Knights of Kerry, both of those are in at the bottom. I think both of them need this sort of a trip, even though they're out of the weights. They'll probably take their chance.
And Peggy's Lad?
Yes, he's only got 7 stone, I think, or 7.13, so he's going to be about 1.5 stone out. But he'll really relish the 3 miles 5. He jumps well, stays all day. He's a horse I'm looking forward to at that sort of a trip.
Which one would you fancy?
My preference at the moment would be just for Knights of Kerry.
Irish Distillers' home trade director is Michael Murphy, who's proud of the company's long association with National Hunt Racing.
Well, it certainly goes back as far as 1960, and there are other associations with some of the families connected with Powers way beyond that. But I'm glad that we decided a couple of years ago to make our total commitment on National Hunt Racing under the Powers label.
Well, Furbert Jr. a non-runner, as is Lyrene Wonder, so Arthur Moore just two-handed, and Barry Geraghty now on Slaney Native. And the riders for this year's renewal making their way out into the parade ring. We saw some of the great Grand Nationals of the 70s, but why don't we look at the 80s now? Desert Orchid was by far the most romantic winner and the best winner of the past 12 years, and his performance was one of the greatest that we've seen of late. Memorable wins and exciting finishes now of recent years.
Liscus River making ground down the inside, but as they jump it, it's Desert Orchid the leader, and he's increased his advantage to 5-6 lengths. Liscus River in second, 3 the committee, then Coney Grange, Barney Burnett, Goldflower and Belzer have been pulled up, but down to the last, the top weight, Desert Orchid, Richard Dunwoody in the lead and clear, looking as if they only have to jump it, and they dive at it, escape with it and come down towards the finish. The leader, Desert Orchid, clear from Liscus River. They're all struggling behind him. An untidy jump at the last, but he's putting up a good performance and getting a tremendous reception from the crowd. Desert Orchid pushed out, hands and heels. Richard Dunwoody, the favourite, wins the Irish National. Desert Orchid clear, a good 10-12 lengths to the good of the line.
It's Moodahim and Amble Speedy coming there on the near side at the final fence. It's Moodahim from Amble Speedy who makes a mistake. They're clear of the Grey Monk in third, and then comes Papillon as they race into the closing stages. Amble Speedy rallying on the near side of Moodahim as they race up towards the line. It's Amble Speedy on the near side, Moodahim on the far side, desperately close. Moodahim finding a bit more. Amble Speedy on the near side. They got the line. Amble Speedy, Moodahim.
At the second last, Papillon leads from Bobby Joe. A gap to Ethan Gale in third. Tell the Nipper jumped right out to the right of that fence as they come towards the final fence now. It's Papillon pressed by Bobby Joe. They're chased by Call of the Day, full of boats, and then Tell the Nipper at the final fence. Papillon, Bobby Joe rise to it together. Papillon the far side, Bobby Joe the near side. They're locked together, clear of Call of the Day, full of boats, and Tell the Nipper. Bobby Joe on the near side, Papillon the far side as they race into the closing stages. Bobby Joe, Papillon fighting back on the far side. It's going to be another close finish. Bobby Joe and Paul Carberry on the near side, forging ahead. Bobby Joe wins the Irish National as they run down the straight towards the second last fence, and Glebe Ladd and Tom Rudd in the lead in the Irish National from Manus the Man and Jason Titley in second. They're followed in third place by Risk of Thunder, then Feathered Leader, who's running on in fourth, and they're clear of the rest as they race towards the final fence. Glebe Ladd, Risk of Thunder on the far side, Feathered Leader coming there strongly on the near side, and then Manus the Man at the last. Glebe Ladd and Feathered Leader. Feathered Leader on the near side, Glebe Ladd the centre, Risk of Thunder and Manus the Man as they fight it out inside the last furlong. Glebe Ladd, Feathered Leader on the near side. Glebe Ladd and Tom Rudd from Feathered Leader as they race up the line. Glebe Ladd is going to give Mick O'Brien his third Irish National success. Glebe Ladd wins the Jefferson Irish National. Feathered Leader is second. Manus the Man is third. Risk of Thunder four. They're a long way clear of one of our own.
Fairyhouse has certainly served up its share of exciting finishes and memorable winners. The 18 runners for this year's renewal in the paddock now, and the bell has sounded for the jockeys to mount. And one of the questions to be answered is who's going to start favourite. Plenty of support, no doubt, for this year for Comanche Court. Winner of the race a year ago, but he's got £10 more on his back now. He had 11.4 last year, 12 stone this time, and only 6 horses in the last 40 years have won with 12 stone. 9-1 he is. He liked the ground. He's up £23 in his rating from last year. And he had to be pulled up here a fortnight ago in the race won by Moscow Express. He made a shocking mistake at the 7th fence and all but lost Ruby. He made a remarkable recovery, but he got a fright. He got a bit of birch up where he wouldn't have liked it, and it was never really travelling with any enthusiasm naturally after that, and was wisely pulled up. Here's last year's runner-up, Fox Chapel King, £10 in hand of Comanche Court, but he's got to make up eight lengths or so. He's 4-1. Shea Barry rides him for Mouse Morris and Sir Anthony O'Reilly. He's a horse that's often mistake-prone, but this is his type of ground, and he's less likely to make mistakes on this sound footing. Just when he gets soft and heavy and sticky ground, he can make mistakes, and you can't afford to do that in many races, least of all races such as Irish Nationals. The runners making their way out. They're in the colours of J.P. McManus, Shannon Gale. Shannon Gale, J.P. won this race back in the early 80s with Bit of a Sky. Shannon Gale is £6 out of the handicap. His son is Strong Gale out of Shannon Spray. Paul Manoni rides him, but you give him a real good chance in his Leopardstown chase form. He was runner-up to Miko's Dream, and that form has worked out really well. Since then, he lost nothing in defeat by Sackville at Leopardstown last time out. He was getting a good bit of weight, but he ran him to 6 lengths, and in between those runs he had a run over hurdles when finishing 8th behind Mr. Red Banner. Just a reminder, we'll be showing you a complete recording of the 1,000 guineas from Newmarket after this race, but the one we look at here is Feathered Leader, runner-up 2 years ago, 6th last year. Last year he was a little bit disappointing to some people, but he'd been to Cheltenham before. He should be a fresher horse this time around. He was only beaten a short head by More Than a Stroll at Navan back in February, and that was his only run since Cheltenham in November. 9-1 he is. Ted, you come up from giving your son some orders and instructions if you give them, but it's a tight old field, and first of all, before your views, here's some betting.
The Powers Gold Label Irish Grand National. There's a real punt on this Fox Chapel King. He was 8-1 when the weights were announced on Tuesday. He opened up on track at 7-1, but they've backed him into as low as 4-1, and he's the clear favourite for this Irish Grand National. From 8-1 on Tuesday, opened up on track at 7-1, quickly disappeared. He's now as low as 4-1 and clear favourite Fox Chapel King. Sheltering is 8-1, 9-1 Feathered Leader. Comanche Court is 10-1. 10-1 also David Slad and Shannon Gale. 12-1 Kings Valley. 14-1 if you fancy Slaney Native. Northern Sound, 5th last year. She's a 16-1 shot this time round. 20-1 More Than a Stroll. 25-1 Rathbone Prince. 25-1 is a big price for Lantern, the Kerry National winner. 25-1 Knights of Kerry will love the trip, bred by the renowned photographer Liam Healy. 25-1 Newsom Roadmakers. 33-1 Private Peace. Also 33-1 Lendon's Lotto. 40-1 Peggy's Lad. 66-1 Florida Light. And 200-1 Ardna Taggle. But the professionals have backed this Fox Chapel King from 8-1 to half those odds. Now 4-1 clear favourites.
That is significant money in a pretty competitive market to reduce a horse in that sort of price. But he is the horse with all the right credentials. Second in the race last year, likes the ground. Mouse's horse is in good order. A good second to Miko's Dream, who's flanked the form since with 2 good wins here at Fairyhouse. And a nice racing rating, he's back at 10-13. One man who's sitting at home, Liam Quinn, looking in at Knights of Hospital, Knights of Kerry. So Liam, if you're looking in, we wish you the best, and all your pals are missing you here. I hope we'll have plenty to cheer about during the night, during the race.
And the runners making their way down to the 3 mile and 5 start, just past the stands to our left. 2 circuits of the track, 3 miles and 5 furlongs ahead of them. A 4-1 favourite in Fox Chapel King. The punters really getting in behind this horse, who was runner-up. Meets last year's winner on £10 better terms, but was well held a year ago. Got to get it together, but his form looks the part. Runner-up to Miko's Dream last time. There's Knights of Kerry, who you had a word about Ted. He's out of the handicap. He's quite a bit out of the handicap, 18 pounds in fact, but Shane McCann rides him, and he was only beaten 3 lengths by Kings Valley when they met here a fortnight ago.
Yeah, I don't expect wherever Kings Valley will be for Knights of Kerry to be too far away from him. He liked the trip and he liked the good ground as well too. But as I said, horses often in a national run a good bit out of the weight and run well.
25 to 1 he is.
Extreme distances too, 3 miles and 5 furlongs. Not an awful lot of horses have gone this trip here in Ireland. We haven't that many races of that distance. And it's amazing that last 5 furlongs, what it can show. You get a horse that gets 3 miles well, or 3 miles in 1, but it's that last 5 furlongs. A lot of horses have a chance at the 4th last here and end up pulling up.
The trophy that they'll be racing for, apart from the check, but we'll go and pick up some more runners. Lewisham Roadmakers, another of the outsiders, well out of the handicap this one. Herb Stanley's runner, trained by Michael Cunningham, and Kieran Gould, another 25 to 1 chance. Won at this meeting 2 years ago and has won here on 3 occasions. Loves it round Fairyhouse, but one of the rank outsiders here this afternoon. Going down in front of Peggy's Lad.
The great majority of the horses look terrific, getting their summer coats and bit weight. There is Kings Valley, a big fancy for a lot of people. Noel Mead's runner. He's won 3 of his last 5, but if he stood up, he'd have won 5 out of 5. He was unlucky at Navan and here at Fairyhouse. Beat Knights of Kerry snugly enough here the last day, and he's 10 or 11 pounds out of the handicap there.
David's Lad we
David's
see
Lad,
here.
he dawdled him here the last day. He's out of the handicap only a few pounds. If he gets the trip, he's got a big chance, and Timmy Murphy will give him every opportunity. Tony Martin's runner. Very impressive here the last day. Lovely with a nice ground as well. He's won 3 miles over hurdles.
Won 3 miles at Musselburgh as well, which is easy enough to get. There's number 10, there's Sheltering. What an interesting runner he is, because he hasn't been beaten since he fell at Cheltenham last year. He's unbeaten in all his hunter chases this year, 8 to 1. He's short enough, but you can't deny his credentials either. He's a long way better than the other hunter chasers around here, and he's in the handicap by a pound, 10 stone 1.
Edward's horse is in good order and a good man in his back. Good each way value. It bids to see what will make it. There's no definite front runner in it. There's plenty of lightweights that like to be handy, but nothing maybe to tear along. And we haven't got English runners this year for the first time either, which the English jockeys tend to sort of go that bit harder. They haven't been successful in it, but they do drag the others along a bit. Edmund last year was up there making it. Have a look at the betting.
Sheltering is the joint second favourite at 8 to 1, but the top in the market is Fox Chapel King, 4 to 1, clear favourite for the Powers Irish National. 8 to 1 Sheltering. Comanche Court did open at 8 to 1, went out to 10 to 1, but they've taken that. Now the very best price I see in the ring is 9 to 1, and some of the major layers are only showing 8 to 1 about the top weight Comanche Court. 9 to 1 Federal Leader second 2 years ago. 9 to 1 from 10 to 1 Shannon Gale. 10 to 1 David's Lad steady. Also steady on the 12 to 1 mark is Kings Valley, and it's 14 to 1 bar. Slaney Native 14 to 1. Northern Sound did touch 16 to 1, but she's gone back out to 18s and 20s again. But Fox Chapel King will start favourite at 4 to 1. Sheltering 8 to 1, along with Comanche Court 9 to 1 bar.
Only 2 mares in the race, Ardna Taggle and Northern Sound, and Northern Sound we're going to have a peep at now. Mares have a decent record in the race though. Just of late we've had Maid of Money and Ebony Jane. This mare was 5th a year ago. Garrett Cotter riding Northern Sound for Paul Roach. A stone out of the handicap.
Loves Fairyhouse though, Robert.
Loves Fairyhouse. Might be a bit of each way value at 20 to 1 with bookmakers, some of them paying each way the first 5 home. Last minute adjustments, there's plenty of them too. Nervous times down there, Ted. You've been down there on occasions.
Yeah. You always get just like to get on with it when you get that close. Just see what way the race will pan out. You have a little plan in your head and you're hoping it'll go accordingly. Doesn't always work out that way.
Our 4 to 1 favourite, Fox Chapel King. If he doesn't make mistakes, he's going to be bang there. Likes the distance, likes Fairyhouse, likes the ground, but 4 to 1 is skimpy.
But he's the horse that most students of the form book have been picking for the last week or 10 days, and I'm sure a lot of them are on at 10 and 12 to 1. It's just good to see him here.
Slaney Native one we didn't see, an interesting runner. Barry Geraghty's mount. Just wonder will he stay. He hasn't won beyond 2.5 miles, but he'll love the ground, a son of Be My Native.
Getting the line now. Desi.
Yes, the
Right,
white
all.
flag is raised, and best of luck, Ted, with Comanche Court bidding to be the first to get back-to-back victories in this race since Brown Lads 75 and 76, so it's a long time ago. And they're off and running in the Powers Gold Label Irish Grand National. 24 fences ahead of them, and Shannon Gale and Paul Maloney the first to show in front. Newsom Roadmakers on the inside sheltering. Lantern, Comanche Court, Linden's Lotto. Then comes Peggy's Lad, Rathbone Prince, Foxchapel King, and Slaney Native as they stream out over the first. And Feathered Leader hit that one very hard. Did well to survive that mistake at this early stage. Up now to the first of the regulation fences. Shannon Gale going to rise in front. Sheltering on the inside second. Then Newsom Roadmakers. And lost one there, Linden's Lotto and Adrian Maguire. I think he's about to get to his feet. So the first casualty, Linden's Lotto, as Shannon Gale leads them up now towards the third fence away from the stand. Peggy's Lad is right up on the outside, and Sheltering is on the inner as they head on up now towards the top of the hill, where Shannon Gale is the leader, with Peggy's Lad close up on the outside. They're being followed by Lantern going between horses. Newsom Roadmakers running forward, and they're followed by Sheltering. Slaney Native and Comanche Court and Foxchapel King being followed by Rathbone Prince, and then comes Private Peace as they race downhill now to fence number 5. Shannon Gale on the inside of Lantern. Peggy's Lad is closely attended by Sheltering. Newsom Roadmakers next with Slaney Native, and that half dozen are being followed by Comanche Court on the inside of Foxchapel King. They were first and second here last year. The grey Private Peace, Feathered Leader, Rathbone Prince, and then comes David's Lad as they stream over the regulation on the far side. Shannon Gale then makes the turn to lead from Lantern close up in second. Disputing third, Peggy's Lad with Sheltering. A couple of lengths to Slaney Native 5. Newsom Roadmakers run 6. 4 lengths then to Comanche Court. Beautifully placed and being tracked by Foxchapel King, the favourite. They're being followed by Rathbone Prince and Private Peace as they jump that fence now that's taking them across the bottom of the track on the approach towards the straight. Lantern has now come through to pick it up. Lantern and John Cullen show just in front. Adrian Maguire happily on his feet. In second place is Shannon Gale, Paul Maloney. Then Sheltering, Norman Williamson on the inside of Peggy's Lad, who's fourth. Newsom Roadmakers, Slaney Native, Comanche Court, and then Foxchapel King. Break of a few lengths to Rathbone Prince, then Private Peace in Kings Valley. These are being followed by More Than a Stroll on the inside, and they're being followed by Feathered Leader, David's Lad, and on the outside, Knights of Kerry, as they come on now to make the approach to the straight. One fence before they swing in, and then 3. And Lantern's gone, and badly hit with Shannon Gale, brought him to his almost standstill. So Lantern is down, and that leaves Peggy's Lad back in front. John Cullen on his feet quickly. So they swing in. They've got 15 fences left, 3 in the straight, and then a complete circuit. And now in the lead is Peggy's Lad on the near side, being followed by Sheltering. Between horses is Newsom Roadmakers. Slaney Native over 4. Shannon Gale recovering from being hampered is 5th. Then Comanche Court in a lovely position 6th. And then the favourite Foxchapel King 7 in mid-division, being followed by Rathbone Prince, and then Private Peace, and Shannon Gale hit that one again. So they come onto the fence that'll be the last next time round, and Sheltering and Norman Williamson has come to the front now to pick it up from Peggy's Lad. Then comes in third Slaney Native. Newsom Roadmakers is next. After Newsom Roadmakers is Comanche Court. Shannon Gale, Foxchapel King, Knights of Kerry, Rathbone Prince, and Kings Valley on the inside. Travelling well for Paul Carberry. Then Private Peace, Ardnatagle, Florida Light, David's Lad, and on the inside is Feathered Leader with towards the back of the field Northern Sound and More Than a Stroll. Very lucky to stay in the race, as the riderless Linden's Lotto just barely avoided him there as they raced away from the stand. So out on the second circuit they go. 12 fences left to jump. Sheltering, Peggy's Lad, Slaney Native, Newsom Roadmakers, Shannon Gale, Comanche Court, Foxchapel King, David's Lad, Rathbone Prince, Kings Valley, Knights of Kerry, Feathered Leader, Private Peace, Ardnatagle, Florida Light, Northern Sound, and More Than a Stroll. Over the regulation, taking them up the far side of the track, and Private Peace, a bad mistake. mistake towards the rear. But up front, it's still Sheltering who's in the lead, followed by Peggy's Lad, Slaney Native. Close up behind these comes Shannon Gale, and just after these, Comanche Court, who's on the inside. As they rise to this one, Peggy's Lad, a slight mistake by Sheltering. They're being followed by Slaney Native, Newsom Roadmakers, right there between horses, followed by Shannon Gale, Fox Chapel King, Comanche Court, David's Lad, Knights of Kerry, and Kings Valley just behind. Right up at the top of the hill now, and it is Peggy's Lad who goes on by 3 to 4 lengths. Two in second place, Sheltering. Disputing third, Newsom Roadmakers with Slaney Native. Shannon Gale is 5, and they're being followed by Fox Chapel King and Comanche Court, who've almost raced stride for stride throughout. David's Lad improves the inside. Peggy's Lad, Sheltering almost back on terms. They're being followed in third, 4 lengths off them by Slaney Native, as they go now to the final regulation on the far side. 7 left to jump. Sheltering is back in front on the inside. Sheltering now with Peggy's Lad. These are the two, and Peggy's Lad, I think, has been pulled up. Now they race on the far turn, and Sheltering is the leader, followed by Slaney Native, Newsom Roadmakers, Fox Chapel King beginning to make steady ground. These are being followed by Slaney Native. Also right behind them, Comanche Court, Rathbone Prince, Knights of Kerry is right with them. As they race away from that fence, it is Sheltering, the Hunter Chaser, and Norman Williamson in the lead by 3 lengths now. 2 in second place, Shannon Gale, who's giving chase in second. In third place is Fox Chapel King. Improving steadily is Rathbone Prince, and then Newsom Roadmakers. And as they race away from that fence, they've got 4 left to jump, and it is Sheltering in the lead from Shannon Gale, Fox Chapel King, and Rathbone Prince improving, and last year's winner, Comanche Court, almost in an identical position as he was last year. 4 to jump. Sheltering, Rathbone Prince, Fox Chapel King, Comanche Court, Kings Valley creeping closer behind them, then Shannon Gale as they race round the home turn. 3 fences left to jump now, and Rathbone Prince is making steady ground on the outside for Kieran Kelly to almost join Sheltering. Then comes Comanche Court, Fox Chapel King, Kings Valley is creeping closer, and David's Lad over the third last. Rathbone Prince goes on from Sheltering. Kings Valley and Paul Carberry also followed by Fox Chapel King. David's Lad running on the inside. 2 to jump, and Rathbone Prince and Kieran Kelly clear of Sheltering. David's Lad, the Follower's feathered leader. Final fence coming up in the Grand National. Rathbone Prince in front. David's Lad charging after him on the far side for Timmy Murphy. Final fence coming up. Rathbone Prince, David's Lad putting in a tremendous run. They're inside the last 100 yards. It's Rathbone Prince grabbed close home. An absolutely magnificent ride by Timmy Murphy to win the National for Tony Martin. Brilliant ride to beat Rathbone Prince. The judge for third, Sheltering, Kings Valley, Comanche Court, More Than a Stroll, Fox Chapel King, Knights of Kerry, Florida Light, Newsom Roadmakers, Private Peace, Ardna Taggart, Shannon Gale pulled up, Northern Sound. We've had some magnificent Grand Nationals. You saw some epic highlights leading up to today's, but I wonder, and Ted Walsh, I'm sure, will confirm, has he ever seen a horse get a better ride to win a Grand National? And there he is, David's Lad, the 10-to-1 winner of the Powers Gold Label National, being congratulated by David Casey, and that's richly deserved. I'm sure he'll watch this race over and over again. It's as good a ride as I have ever witnessed, and congratulations to Timmy Murphy for winning this race for Tony Martin. Worth watching again, Ted.
Great win for Timmy Murphy, man from Shamblin-Moore, County Cork. Timmy, whose father, Jimmy, rode a lot of Point winners. He's given his horse a lovely ride. Kieran Kelly nearly stole it. He let that old Rathbone Prince run into the straight, and he's let him a good line. But Timmy Murphy has been nursing the horse every step of the way. The only question mark with this horse was, would he get the trip? And he had the right man on his back. He waited and waited and waited and pounced here. He just goes and joins him here. And from here on in, he's always going to get the better of Rathbone Prince, who's run an absolute cracker over a trip I thought was far too far from. But this horse has won nicely at the dead. Timmy's just had to push him out hands and heels. A great success for Timmy Murphy, a great success for Tony Martin as well. A wonderful training performance by a horse that was suspect about getting the trip, but on this fast ground he's got it well and won nicely. Great performance by horse and rider, and a wonderful for Tony Martin as well. Wonderful success for Tony. He's been an astute trainer over the years, a wonderful amateur, and now he's produced this horse to win the biggest prize in Irish jump racing, the Irish Grand National, here at Fairyhouse on this Sunday. A wonderful race it was to watch. Don't think there's any hard luck stories. A lot of horses travel well. Wasn't a really mad gallop, which I think helped this horse, but Timmy gave him what a cool, easy ride all the way, nursed him along and just produced him at the right time. There'll be plenty of celebrations connected with this fella. Tony has placed him well. He won at Cheltenham early on in the year, won a good handicap, didn't quite get the trip on the very heavy ground. There is Tony in the extreme left of the picture over there at the back of the parkland. Very popular. Well done to all these lads as well too. A great performance. The Eddie Joes Racing Syndicate. And they're all lads from around the County Meath, around that area. This will be their local track along with Navan, and there'll be great celebrations here. A wonderful race to win, a wonderful performance. Well done, lads. You'll enjoy it for a long, long time to come. It's a wonderful feeling. And well done again to Tony Martin and to Timmy Murphy. What a wonderful ride, as you said, Timmy Murphy gave him. But what a great training performance by Tony Martin. He's placed his horse to win some handicaps. He got a £20 penalty for winning here the last day. What a certainty he was with that £20 less on his back. And he's landed the biggest prize of all, the Irish National. A lot of lads I know to see there, young Simon Butterly, and a lot of lads that I don't know all their names, but they're very much involved in this, and what a great day they'll get out of it. We'll see the replay. Turning in again, very happy with our race. Comanche Court round with 12 stone on his back. Ratball Prince sheltering on the inside there. He's run a good race. Ratball Prince pings it, and about 4th or 5th, just on the inside of Comanche Court, there's the eventual winner, David Slad. He went 4 or 5 lengths to make up at this stage. Ratball Prince looked like he may have stolen it, but Timmy's as cool as a cucumber, sits nice and quietly on the inside of sheltering. Ratball Prince does the second last with about 3 lengths to spare. But if he's going to get beaten, this horse is for coming too late, and that's one thing Timmy won't be guilty of. He's given this horse a crack of a ride. Shane Kelly has given the second horse a great ride as well too. He's put him into the race, set about his job, and he might look back at that afterwards and say that he got too soon, but that was a decision he made. Now joining at the last by David Slad, and jumps it really well. I'm sure his parents will be very proud people at home watching Timmy win this big pot here, because he's a great rider in England, but to win the big one at home is what it's all about. He won the Hennessy last year for Mark Pittman, and now he's come and won this big pot here, the Irish Grand National. Well done, Tim. Tim is a distant relation of my own as well too. Both our fathers were, or his grandfather and my father were first cousins, so we're related along the way. Down there from, my dad was from Kildare, he's from Shamblin-Moore. Great success for him, and a lovely rider. Look at the stylish rider he is. Punches this horses out, and he's a stylish man alongside him in Kieran Kelly as well too.
Well, a great win by the winner. David Slad, he absolutely sluiced home here at the last meeting, over 2.5 miles. It looked like he just joined in when they came to the last fence. A £20 penalty still kept him out of the weights. Here's Tracy.
Right now by winning jockey, a triumphant Timmy Murphy. Timmy, congratulations. You timed that to perfection.
Well, I mean, all the credit goes to the horse and Tony Martin and the lads. They had him absolutely bouncing. You know, he was in great form the last day, but to improve from that again, it was brilliant, you know.
And he seemed to enjoy every step of his way, and his jumping was good. Any major worrying moments?
Never really, no. I mean, we went down the inside, and there was a grand fresh bit of ground, and lucky enough there was no trouble really. And he travelled too well really. We were just worried whether he'd get the trip or not, but he did.
He definitely looked like he did. He's a class act and a tough individual. Is he a bit of a character as well?
He's a bit of a character. I mean, when the first thing he said was just make sure he settles, but he jumped absolutely brilliant, you know. So, I mean, my job was very easy. All I had to do was steer him, really.
But you certainly made it look easy, and I really think you should take some of the credit, Timmy. You did a fantastic job. And an Irish Grand National, what does it feel like?
Fabulous. Made up for the second in the English one.
Well done. Take care.
Well said, Timmy. Yes, Timmy was on Smarty at Aintree. There are the connections, members of the Eddie Joes Racing Syndicate. They can hardly believe it, but win it they have. Lovely ride from Timmy. Poor old Kieran Kelly on the runner-up. Here's Tracy again.
Well, winning trainer Tony Martin joins me now. Tony, a great success there. What a horse.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was great. And the horse did it really well.
Yeah. What's he like to train?
He's never given any problem so far, touch wood, you know. He's very straightforward. he's only a novice, like it's his first year over fences, so it was a great performance by him.
Well, we're just talking to jockey Timmy Murphy there, and he gives all the credit to you. He said you just had him trained to perfection, spot on.
Well, I thought I had him spot on for Cheltenham in the middle of March, and then that just put things on hold. And the last day, you know, I was quite happy with him coming here, but he definitely improved about 7 pounds from the last day to today.
There really has been a mess during the season, you know, so many people have had big plans for March as usual. Must have been very hard to just keep him right for today.
Yeah, it was very stop-start. You didn't know whether to get into them or not, or try and have them for a day, but lucky enough things worked right with this fella.
Certainly did. Now, a huge reception when he came in from Eddie Joe's Racing Syndicate, who owns him. A few characters in that as well, I'd say.
Yeah, there's a good bunch of lads. Eddie Moran there will be the main man from Tipperary. He's a pub down there called Eddie Joe's, and he actually had the first winner we had, which was the dam of David's lad Coonor, and he bred him. Well, we actually bred it for him, so that was it. And Eddie then syndicated the horse a year back or so. And oh yeah, there's a good crew of lads in him.
Bound to be some celebrations tonight, and justly deserved. Well done, Tony. Horse is going great, and continued success too.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy. Thanks.